Hey there, so if you guys were watching me yesterday, you saw me do my massive Code Red collection and wants list, followed by the Trauma collection as well. So today is the opposite of the Code Red one, basically. Here's one where I do have like a wealth of, well, quite a few of the collection. And that's basically the Scream Factory collection. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you my entire Scream Factory collection, everything I got, talk about it, talk about each one that I got, why I got it as we go through. Basically, we're going to go through them at a fairly rapid pace. I do have a few of them. And then I'm going to talk about the ones that I don't have, because a couple years back, I ended up like getting out more. Well, really last year, I've been getting a lot more UK stuff, and kind of like begged off a lot of the Scream Factory stuff. So you're gonna notice that there's a lot of big Scream Factory titles, especially the newer stuff, that's missing from my collection. Though I did manage to get a lot when it started. I was there in day one, so I did get a lot of the really early cool stuff. So we'll look into that as well. And is there any company that I don't have at all that I want? And I actually thought about that. I actually even thought about doing a video based on like companies that I don't have any of that I want. But right now, I think the only one that can really comes to mind is probably Vestron Video. The landscape of the series, the Vestron Video Collection Blu-rays. And here in, if anybody's here from Canada and then knows basically my pain when it comes to this, they're really expensive, and especially around here. And here in Newfoundland, shipping-wise too, it's insane. You're looking somewhere usually between $40 to $50 for a title. If you're lucky and you pre-order them, you're going to get them for like 35, and then you got to, but not usually. Most of the time, you get them in the like $40 to $60, $70 range for one title. I'm talking about. So it's coming into the twilight times like price range there, and although there's a bunch of titles Vestron that I want, I can't yet afford to grab those, but hopefully on the road. But that video is apparently for another day, because this one right here is Scream Factory stuff, and that one I do have a wealth. I have Scream Factory Blu-rays, DVDs, box sets, so we got a lot to look at. And then we're going to talk about my want list for Scream Factories that I don't have, that I really wish that I did. I'll be right back. So, as always, guys, let's roll it. So here we go. So I anticipate this being one of my longer, well, regular length videos, because kind of my last one ran about 71 minutes long. So another podcast style video for this one here, because I got a lot of Scream Factory stuff. Scream Factory was a company that I knew was coming out, and I was pretty much really anticipated its arrival. There had been nothing like it here, and like not really like to take to the level that they did, especially when they originally started. But yeah, I was there on day one to get their first two releases, which I do have here actually, and I still have even after they put out a box set of it. If you look in the background there, what you can see right there is a screenshot for a Puppet Master the game. There's actually a guy working on a Puppet Master game. I guess it's in the beta stage, and is hoping that to get actually make it, they actually get officially licensed from Full Moon. I think he's still in the working stages and seeing pretty much, I think, if they're going to like it and that. And well, from what I've seen, from what the guy's done, there's some great detail put into it. It's like Puppet Master versus the Nazis in Bodega Bay, which is what I saw of it, and it looked pretty cool. So I thought I'd mention it to you guys if you haven't seen it, or definitely give a look for the Puppet Master the game. So let's start off the DVDs, then we'll get into the really good stuff. So not that DVDs aren't good stuff, but here's a couple of the newer ones. First up is one that I like the trailer to, and it was very cheap, so I grabbed it. That is Dead Shadows. So it's kind of I think it's almost like a post-apocalyptic, kind of a weird, strange like this. It's set in France. I think it's a French film, and I haven't watched it yet, but it looks really trippy, and I like trippy stuff. Next up was The Monkey's Paw, and I actually haven't heard a lot of really great stuff about this, but it had a decent genre cast in it. Like we have like oh man, well, Charles Dutton is in it. I think Stephen Lang's in this one as well, and I am pretty sure, isn't he? I thought Tony Todd was in this, but I could be wrong because he's not even mentioned on the back, and you think that would be a name that you'd mention. Corbin Bleu is in it from, High School Musical and later on One Life to Live. And I'm really geeky for knowing that, but I actually like those things. Next up is Psycho 2. I really did dig this. Actually, it's kind of comical. There was Psycho 2 and 3, and they were the same price on Blu-ray and DVD at the store that day. And like normally they're not, right? And I was like going back and forth. Like, so how am I going to buy these ones here? I love the Psycho movies. I should probably grab the Blu-rays, and I probably should. But I just really dug the fact that the Blu-rays didn't have slipcovers at the time. I don't think. I'm pretty sure they didn't. And but these did. These had like two. I got 2 and 3 or something together. So these had slipcovers, and they were like kind of the cool, original artwork because I guess they weren't actually allowed to commission any new artwork for it. So that's why you're not going to see a different art on this. You're going to see like the original artwork and the stuff that you saw in the movie posters. But Psycho 2 and 3 were actually 2 really, really cool movies. I need Psycho 4. That's definitely on my want list. So there we go. It's early want list one, even before this thing's done. Psycho 4 is what I need to pick up. I think we're just going to go for the Blu-ray of that one. Because I have Psycho on Blu-ray, and I'll definitely get those 2 on Blu-ray down the road as well. But there's too many that I don't have to go ahead and like just start, just doubling over when there's so much new stuff out there. One of my favorite Wes Craven movies. I was really glad to see Scream Factory give a really decent release of it, and that is Deadly Blessing. I really, really like this movie. A lot of people, Wes Craven himself actually, was iffy on this movie, but I love it. And I love the fact that I'm still able to have the original sticker. Like some people take the stickers off, but for something like this, I think it's actually part of it. And anyway, I got the artworks there, plus we have the original artworks as well, so which is very cool. A great cast. There's very young Sharon Stone there. And of course this girl from Battlestar Galactica, the original Battlestar Galactica. Maureen Jensen and Susan Buckner, who is right there, and you may not recognize. A lot of people don't recognize her, but she's from Greece. Actually, she was Patty Wilcox. Next up is one that I have the Arrow Blu-ray of as well, and that is Funhouse. So it'd be in between them. You have the Ultimate Edition because this has features that the Arrow one doesn't have. The Arrow one has features that this one doesn't have. I like the Arrow one better for the Blu-ray aspect of it, but I do. This is one of my least favorite covers for that. Now, this, the original covers. It's cute up. No, not a fan of the cover. Big fan of the movie. I like the movie. Next up is The Howling. And if you remember me getting this, then you've been watching my channel for a while because this is the last movie that I picked up here in North America before I took my trip to Morocco. So I love The Howling. I wanted the producer featurette. This is another one these days I'm sure I'll grab the Blu-ray of, but not as long as I have the DVD with the movie, and it's fantastic. And the artwork is so good. One of their early artworks that I really liked. This artwork's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite artwork that they did, but it's an earlier one, and that's Phantasm 2. Getting the Arrow box set, that's for sure. I don't see how somebody can complain about the Spear being in the Arrow box set, to be totally honest with you. It's like, I want to get the movies, but I don't want to get the Spear. I'm a Phantasm fan. If you're a real big Phantasm fan, you're going to want that Spear. that's going to be like a source of pride for you, like in your boxing. Spear's not going to be something like, oh, well, I would like it if it didn't have that replica spear from the movie, which is a huge, visual part of the film. Just saying. Yeah, so, well, USA, go put out their edition of it, something like that. I think that's the company's name. And then there was the Arrow set. I cannot pass that one up. That is just too gorgeous. And, if you're a die-hard, like, serious Phantasm fan like me, you're going to want Spear. But if you just like movies and you just want the films, then the Well Go one's good enough for what it does. I could end up getting some of them down the road if they sell them separately, or maybe even if it goes really cheap because I'm a huge Phantasm fan. If there's any extra features on the Well Go one, then I'll grab it then. But as of right now, the one that interests me is the Arrow one. But this was a really good one when it came out. I'm a huge Phantasm fan. This is the only one that doesn't have the original actor in it. I think James Gross is in this, right? James Gross, yeah. Takes over the role. And artwork on the inside, too. This is incredible. Look at that. Out of the Phantasm movies, I see this one as probably... This is the most commercial of the Phantasm films. So if you haven't seen any of the Phantasm films, the first one is a really cool, trippy, dreamlike, almost like a nightmare, where in all seriousness, you really don't know what's real. It's a lot of guesswork. But Phantasm 2, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 or the or Friday the 13th 4 in a way. It's the most commercial of the Phantasm films. They hire a different actor, like kind of a more professional actor than the kid they had in the first one, and would be in parts 3 and 4. This one just seems, although it's still the budget that they did, it does seem just a bit more I guess polished in a way than the original, but it loses a little bit of rawness of its kind of the gritty ability that it has there. But I had to mention that one. I love that movie. So next up is Monkey Shines again. George Romero, which I love. Love this movie. This is really fun, cheesy fun. Got some other somewhere here. I got some other Romero, but I can't seem to find it right now. Have the other one that they put out, and it is right about no. Thought I was gonna be able to just say I got some other Romero, and that was gonna be all casual, and I was gonna take it out and say, look, there it is. I got it here. Yeah, there it is. So the Dark Half. They put out the Dark Half and Monkey Shines at the same time. And I wasn't sure because I like these movies, but I wasn't in love with these movies when I originally saw them. I did enjoy them more this time around when I watched them again than I did when I first saw them. But the featurettes were long, were usually pretty much around 45 to 50 minutes type thing, and the main making of featurette, kind of the behind the scenes, and it was really good, especially. Dark Half especially had a really, really good one. Talked about the producer not wanting Michael Rooker, just some amazing stuff there. And we'll get into some of the double features. So the first one I also have on DVD. It's actually a Shout Factory release, but the original I got, and that is Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours. I'm pretty sure this is the one. No, the other one was the one. So I really, really like this movie. So, Bad Dreams has Jennifer Rubin, and I think it's Richard Lynch. I'm pretty sure it's Richard Lynch. Yeah, Richard Lynch. And pretty much, Jennifer Rubin plays this girl that it's part of a cult and kind of a Jonestown type thing, and they pretty much they do this thing where they kill it with mass suicide type thing. She runs out, she won't do it. Richard Lynch is the leader of the group, and he gets burnt, kind of almost. It's almost kind of a Nightmare on Elm Street in a way, basically, in the fact that she starts seeing him coming to her and visions of him and him burnt and telling her to do stuff and trying to haunt her, and these murders are going on. And is the dream come to life, or is there something more on par with the regular non-supernatural stuff? So a bit of a mystery to it. Visiting Hours is a really good one. I like Michael Ironside, and he really is incredible. This Lee Linda Pearl, who I had an extreme crush on when I was young. And of course, William Shatner, the Shatner. Gotta love the Shatner. Gotta have this one. If not only just for the Shatner. Bad Dreams Visiting Hours actually is a great double feature. And unlike some of their later double features that they've done, these actually have features on them. Which I always like when they actually put features on them. Of course, the blaxploitation double feature, because you guys know I love my blaxploitation. It is Blackula and Scream Black to Scream. Scream Black to Scream is actually fairly decent as a sequel, but Blackula, it just is in a totally other category. I loved these movies. And again, we got audio commentary on film, new interview with the actor Richard Lawson. Just really cool stuff. I'm a huge fan of that one. And of course, I had to have the Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2. What I am missing is there's a Troll and Troll 2 one with with Best Worst Movie included with it, and that's what I definitely need to grab up there for my collection. But I love the Ghoulies films, first two especially. But the second one really, like the first one is pretty cheesy, and Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU actually has a small role in this. But it was really cool to actually see this. There's features on here as well as audio commentary on the first one. There's interviews on the second one. And just really cool stuff. They'll get you in the end. That's not a cool cover though. The Ghoulies actually look probably better in the second one than they do in the first one. Some of the acting in the first one too was a little stiff, but overall it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Again, this was another one where I kind of liked it when I was younger, but I liked it a lot more watching it now. And then again, I watched it with with everybody here. Hin was here, so. Nat was here, Wes was here, we all watched it together and we had a blast. So. Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2. Let's stick with the double features because I want to get those done first. Next up is one that belongs to everybody's collection. That's actually kind of cool, and that is Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. You guys know that I'm a huge anthology fan, so this was a no-brainer for me. I'm a big fan of Amicus. I'm a big fan of British horror in general, but these anthology ones are really good. And this is uncut too, which is something that I actually really dig. So the first disc, the Blu-ray disc here, has a Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror on the same disc, and they're uncut editions, so it's not like the freeze frame like there was before. And that's when they were censored. They freeze framed the one in the Vault of Horror, and also you kind of get the I think it's an open matte one. An open matte theatrical cut of the Vault of Horror as well. So that's actually pretty cool. And if you look behind here, they kind of give the Vault of Horror, where it's got an extra disc for Vault of Horror. They give it a kind of cover. If you want to go with kind of want to go with that. Say if you want to buy 2 copies and want to buy the Vault of Horror. Okay, it's probably not gonna do that. Next one is one that I'm pretty sure this is the one that I actually got Sammy once too, because I wanted him to see these movies. Falagar 517, Archmage Falagar. If you haven't checked the channels out, he does a lot of he does movies every once in a while, but he does a lot more of Let's Plays now. But I remember I picked him up. Pretty sure it was this one here. At one point, and that is X-Ray and Schizoid. I love both of these movies. I'm a huge Barry Benton fan, and it is a fantastic movie. I mean, the killer's a horrible actor, and there's a sequence in it where Barry Benton gets unrobed, and it's the most awkward nude sequence that you're ever going to see. It almost makes you feel dirty watching it, but it's just the way that it's framed. It just was just so clinical, I guess, but it's in a hospital, so I guess it makes sense. Schizoid is a really fun film. Lots of great actors in this one. I know Donna Wilkes is in this one here from the Angel franchise. We got Klaus Kinski. We got Craig Wasson in here. Christopher Lloyd shows up in this film here. Mariana Hill. Just an incredible cast. And unfortunately, when I originally saw this, I saw it on VHS and didn't really see clearly who the killer was. So it was meant as kind of a mystery. But on Blu-ray, when you actually see the killer's face, I think much more clear than you're actually supposed to see the killer's face. Next up is Scanners 2 and Scanners 3. This is one that had to be ordered in from Barnes & Noble. We used to have a Barnes & Noble account at the time too, so we got it for actually cheaper. So this one here was a birthday surprise for me. There's a few Scream Factories that aren't available to buy in Canada. You can, if you go to the website, Scream Factory website, you can't get things like Southern Comfort here in Canada. You actually have to find another way around to get it, like either go through Barnes & Noble or something. That's the same thing with the Carrie 2 and 3. That one didn't come here as well. Maybe there's like a licensing issue here in Canada, but there's the same thing with these here. These are Scanners 2 and 3 basically are done by, were produced by Pierre David. He's a pretty famous kind of like producer for producing those type of like kind of like straight to video type films. I think he did like movies like Whispers and that as well. And I'm not sure, but he may have had something to do with some of the Watchers films. And that one I'm just guessing, to be totally honest with you. But Scanners 2, the new Order, and Scanners 3, the Takeover, actually kind of fun. Scanners 2 is much better than Scanners 3. Scanners 3 is good in a kind of a kitschy, low budget, superhero mutant-y type of way, I guess you want to call it, with like cheesy black-hatted villains and all that. But Scanners 2, just the actor on that one's great. I think it's David Hewitt. Yeah, David Hewitt was in this one, of course. You guys know him from Cube and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But if you're watching my channel, you probably know him from Cube. Next up is Ghost House and Witchery. I was waiting for this one for so long. I love the movie Ghost House. It scared the crap out of me when I was younger, especially because you got that like creepy like tape recorder. But more than anything else, I've got a fear of clowns, and often in horror movies, I'm confronting my fears a lot. I try to stay away from like a lot of the insect ones. I've watched one of those every once in a while, but usually I actually do have somebody here with me when I watch the insect stuff because it's creepy. But the one I didn't know a lot about, or I didn't remember anyway, was Witchery. So that was the first one I watched when we got set. Because you got like Linda Blair and David Hasselhoff, and you're like, no way am I not watching this. And it's really fun. Like Witchery is actually way more fun than I expected it to be. I thought it was basically okay. It's got a really nice cover, so it's gonna be a crap, and it's gonna be kind of plotting to get through. It wasn't plotting to get through at all. It was actually kind of a really fun exploitation film that I thoroughly enjoyed. So this is although there's no features on it, this is really a solid double feature. Ghost House and Witchery, two really fun, cool films from the Casa series. Google it, look it up. Or if you've been watching my videos for a long time, then you know what La Casa is because I mentioned it in the previous video. Next up, this is kind of an unofficial double feature, and that is The Town That Dreaded Sundown. A really cool Charles B. Pierce film. Of course, there was a really great kind of reimagining of it. I can't call it a reboot, can't call it a sequel, but a very different, really good one that I actually still don't have. I got to get actually. It's The Town That Dreads Sundown, but I got this actually not just for The Town That Dreads Sundown, which is really cool, and it's good to see Dawn, Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Ginger, I mean, Mary Jane. But, they interview her, don't they? Yeah, Don Wells. They interview Don Wells. And Andrew Prine, of course. I'm a big Andrew Prine fan. But I wanted this one right here. The Evictors. That's the second film on the set. And actually, it's got its own little features. But I loved The Evictors. That was a movie I saw when I was really young with my cousin, Roger, who I often talk about on here. But you never really see. But it's got like Vic Morrow, Michael Parks, Jessica Harper, and you guys know my love for Jessica Harper. So the Blu-ray has like the features and the 10 Dread Sundown, and the DVD has the Evictors on it as well. So really cool to have that. Next up is actually a really cool double feature that I was very iffy on when I picked it up. That is TerrorVision and The Video Dead. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people were very excited to have TerrorVision on Blu-ray, and I was like, which one of the movies is that again that I saw? And it took me like maybe a few seconds of hearing the theme song of TerrorVision to have the movie kind of flood back to me. Such a great film. Garrett Graham is in this one here. We got an amazing cast in this one here. I think Diane Franklin's in it. Oh man. John Greaves, of course, was in Fright Night 2, and of course he was in the Pretenders TV series. And of course The Video Dead, which is way, way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Again, it's one of those where I'd always see the cover, at the store, and I said that cover's way too good for the movie to be any good. But it was pretty competently done. It was like it's very low budget, but I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the video of that. Next up is one of the last true action movies to be made, and by that I mean like pre CGI and stuff coming out. This was when the explosions were not CGI, when they actually set up like practical effects, and it was very dangerous. And that is Dark Angel. This is a great one. It has some great features, interviews on here as well. I never knew this under the title Dark Angel. Didn't even know that was the existent title until this came out. I know this as I Come in Peace, because that's what the video, that's what was named there. So I Come in Peace, you see? You leave in pieces. So intergalactic drug lord comes down to pretty much to kill people, and he's being chased by kind of an intergalactic kind of like cop. Something happens, and Dolph Lundgren, kind of a renegade cop, along with Brian Benben, who's more of a kind of a by the numbers type of guy, have to work together to take down this intergalactic drug lord. Tons of fun, really great film. A polarizing film by many, but I really liked it. I kind of dig this one, and it is a toe pooper film, and that is Invaders from Mars. Really, really fun. Great little science fiction film put on every once in a while just to sit back and just enjoy it, and that's why I do it. It's tonally it's kind of mixed. It doesn't commit itself either way to being like straightforward, like serious sci-fi horror film, and it doesn't commit itself to being kind of the more kitschy type of film. It kind of limbo, it was a kind of a limbo space right in between that. But that being said, I really did enjoy Invaders from Mars. Eagle-eyed viewers, watch out, and you'll actually see the original Invader from Mars, one of the sequences in the film. Next up is Gregory Hines' Eve of Destruction. A fun little, like, kind of a time waster type film. When I bought this, I originally bought this because I was making Scream Factory had like a sale on, and there was an order, and I needed one more movie, so that's how I ended up getting this one this time. I do, it's a decent film. It's a fun little film to watch, but it's not one of the ones you kind of run out and say, oh, I got to get Eve of Destruction. But that being said, I'm glad I have it. It's when I want to watch something that's kind of just a fun little action film that works. This one was stretching for Scream Factory. I'm not gonna lie. Scream Factory, you guys were stretching when you made this one, because anyway, Supernova, decent film. Not something that I would probably, if this was on like, I'll be honest, if this was like on a regular Blu-ray company, I probably would wait till it got down to like a $5 Blu-ray, like on a Lionsgate or something like that, and buy it then. But we're Scream Factory, I did pay $5 for it because it actually went on sale, 5 or 8, something like that. But it's an okay movie. One I like a lot more in that same vein is Leviathan. I thought Leviathan was a really fun movie. I was glad to see Scream Factory put it out with this amazing cover as well. Again, what a great cast we got for this one here. We got Peter Weller, Richard Crenna, Amanda Pays, Daniel Stern, Ernie Hudson, Michael Carmine, Lisa Albacher, Hector Elizondo. You can't go wrong with a cast like that. We've got some decent interviews on here as well, and definitely want to check out. I do tend to lean more towards the horror, though. The horror and the slasher and some of the exploitation stuff. I really need to get hellholes. I should stop telling you what I really need to get before I get to the want portion of my my video here, shouldn't I? Evil Speak. I love this film. Clint Howard is utilized, probably aside from Ice Cream Man, this is the best utilization of Clint Howard ever. I mean, it is amazing, and his character, my God, they hate him. They really hate his character in this movie, and I'm not it's not word of it's not an exaggeration or kind of any type of hyperbole. The people in this movie truly hate Clint Howard with all the passion, rage that you can hate Clint Howard with, I guess. But again, loved Evil Speak. That was a really fun film. Very cheesy. Some cool interviews on here as well. I didn't know when I watched this movie, actually, the first time. I guess I wouldn't, because he wasn't famous for it back then. But Don Stark's in this movie. And Don Stark is known for, if you ever watched the show, that 70s show, he's kind of like the curly, afro-haired guy the neighbor next door, kind of the goofy type guy, um, with the really hot wife, Jenny Roberts, at least at the beginning of the show. But which I think if they would have really got into the series more and would have been more, I think they kind of like went into like the swinger aspect of it. But I really thought their characters really did epitomize like that era of like 70s. But that he plays one of the kids that's kind of picking on him in this one. Here. He's like an asshole. I think it's Richard Mall's in this one too as well, right? Yeah, Richard Mall. Fun film. Next up is Final Exam. Again, I really enjoyed this one. This is one where I enjoyed more the second time than I did the first time. Basically because I've been like groomed on slashers. I grew up in the 80s, but my slashers tended to be more along the lines of the mystery slashers, like who did it and why. And I really love that. I love that, like Happy Birthday to Me. A lot of the other like kind of the 80s slashers. Just I gotta get that Happy Birthday to Me from England. Incredible stuff. That one's not about like you know who's killing, basically. It doesn't really matter. It came without warning, or without warning is the other more known title from it. Whenever I see like the creature looking like this right here, I always think of like the original Star Trek. There was this episode. Actually, Sir Clint Howard was in the. He was very young in it actually, and they had this like kind of like puppet-like creature. It used to terrify me as a kid, and he used it like kind of like so people wouldn't like go near him, like kind of as protection. So, but this one has a fantastic cast. I'm a big fan. You guys know this of Neville Brand, and he's in this one. This one has a great cast though. We've got like Jack Palance, Martin Landau, Cameron Mitchell, Neville Brand, Ralph Meeker's in this, Larry Stork's in this. Just of like old school casts, just amazing stuff. Speaking of great cast, the Final Terror is Adrian Zmed. It's got I think Joe Pantoliano is in it, and Richard Ward, I think, and I know Daryl Hannah's in this one. Is it Richard Ward? It is Richard Ward. I thought it was Adirondack for a second. But Mark Metcalf, love this. It's a fun film. A little slow moving at places, but I didn't mind it. So I'm very excited about the new house set that's coming out from Scream Factory. I got this hair that's coming out there. I got to get my hair cut. It's driving me crazy. So horror show. In other words, House 3. Huge fan of this. Huge fan of this movie. I really like this one. I think Kane Hodder did like some of the stunts on this one here. And again, it's a movie that stars Brian James. He does an amazing job as a killer in this one here. It's got kind of a weird, almost two tied together like with a bow type of ending, but still a fun one. One of my early Scream Factory acquisitions was Death Valley. I remember seeing it when I was younger, and I really wanted to watch it again. For me, it did stand up. I did like it. It's more of a thriller than a slasher film, but it's a fun one. Next up is Witchboard. Tiny Katane, Stephen Nichols, of course, played Patch on Days of Our Lives, is in this one here. Tiny Katane is so beautiful in this movie. Man. Just look at her. She is gorgeous. I'm a big fan of redheads, and stunning. Love Tiny Katane. Love her in this movie. Witchboard movie. There's a Witchboard too, I think, which I don't have, which I need. Ninja 3: The Domination. Lucinda Dickey. You know, as I always say when I pick up this movie, you know, to kill a ninja, you must be a ninja. Really, really like this movie. It's the third one in the Shokazuji, ninja series. This one is not this Shokazuji heavy. Well, he's in it a lot, but it's Lucinda Dickey, who was in like the Breaking films. So they wanted to make do a different like take onto the ninja one. So we've done the ninja, and did a really bloody kind of ninja film. Where are we going to go from there? Well, they went with like a female ninja, but they didn't make her like she couldn't just be a ninja. She was an aerobics instructor that was possessed by the spirit of a ninja. I kid you not. That's real. That's what Canon did. Vampire Lovers. This is the I think the only Hammer film that Scream Factory has ever put out. Do really dig this one. There's some great features. Ingrid Pitt's great in it. Next up is Deadly Eyes. You know I like my exploitation, and I especially love my films with Lisa Langales in it, and she is highlighted heavily in this one. Deadly Eyes is a fantastic little kind of rat film. I love these like kind of creature feature type of things. So the Deadly Eyes is just one, for me. Like a lot of people, Food of the Gods is their top like rat film, or some people it'll be like Of Unknown Origin, which actually is a really good underrated Peter Weller rat film, killer rat film as well. But for me, Deadly Eyes is the one that just takes the cake. I just really like this film. I like the ending of it. I like the brutality of the film. I like the fact that they don't go away from it. That the kid dies. There's a kid in this movie, a little kid, and the rats eat him. Howling 2. See, this should be enough, okay? If you're a red-blooded male, seeing this picture here should make you want this film. Because you're probably going to know that Sybil Danning's in this movie. And she's in this movie. The scene, she does one scene where she rips open her shirt, which shows off her breasts, which are amazing. They are a gift from God. And it's only one sequence within the film. But at the end of the movie, when they play like kind of a music video, they show it like 30 times. I'm not complaining. But I bet that Sybil Danning was sure complaining when she found out that they did that. It's truly the meaning of exploitation is when the actress actually does get exploited, and she did in a way there. Near's Evil, again, it's one that I really love. It's evil. I will kill somebody every hour that it hits New Year's. That's the thing. Actually, it's a really fun film, way better than you expect it to be. And what's really neat is that the killer is not like the perfect killer and just not following the final girl type thing. It actually follows the killer and his attempts to do things, and they don't work out right. So this guy, is pretty much a screw up. And even as a killer, he's not totally getting it right. And you kind of, it's a neat way to take it. It's a different way to take it. Crawl Space. I do have to mention it again. The short kill, Please Kill Mr. Kinski, is on here, and it's incredible. Crawl Space is an amazing film. That short, everybody should own. The last thing I picked up from Screen Factory was this one right here, Army of Darkness, 3-disc collector's edition. See, on one of these here, there's got the theatrical version, the director's cut, the international cut, and also the television cut as well. And there's a feature-length, like documentary and all this stuff. Apparently, there's a sequence where he jumps over a fence, and it wasn't in one of the cuts. So people complained, and they wanted to have like that jumping over the fence sequence was really pivotal to the enjoyment and plot of the film. That you have it in all cuts of the film. Okay, no, it's not. It's really silly. They actually did a replacement disc thing for that. The one I got is just, as far as I know, is just the original. This one doesn't have the replacement disc, nor would I go and get a replacement disc for jumping over the fence sequence. No, I'm good. I'll survive. Next up is another Lisa Langales one, which I got to end up watching one of these days because maybe I watched it tonight. I don't know. The Nest. I saw this when I was young. It creeped me out. I hate cockroaches. I lived in an apartment that was infested by them once when I was very little. I remember we had this, but we didn't know there was an infestation at the time. We had this bed that came out of the, those beds that come out of the wall type thing. And we had this sheet there. And just like in a horror film, we had the bed down. And I think it was probably our first night in the place. I think it was with my mom. I was young. I was really young. And the sheets were actually moving. Sheets were moving for so many insects under it. So we had to get out of there. Yeah, it was quite the experience. Needless to say, I have a deafening fear of cockroaches now. Nosferatu the Vampire. I love Werner Herzog. I have a Werner Herzog collection. Not the cool Chef Factory one, but I have a DVD on that Anchor Bay put out. but I had to grab this one on Blu-ray. Just a huge fan of the film. Klaus Kinski does an amazing job. Next up is another cool one. That is Prison. Rest in peace, Lane Smith. I mentioned this one, I think I might mention this one last night. That is The Beast Within, when I actually mentioned Philip Moore's name. Philip Moore directed this one. He would also direct, of course, Howling 2 and Howling 3. I would kind of like to see them put Howling 3 out on Screen Factor, along with Howling 4. Actually, Howling 4 is one I really want, because it's usually the hardest to find. It's actually fairly cheap if you can find out. Howling 4 is the only... Howling 4 and New Moon Rising are the two Howling films that I don't own. And I did like Howling 4. A lot of people didn't. But I really enjoyed it. Had the guy from of course, from Pretender in it. And it was like a fairly faithful adaptation of the Howling book. So that was also very cool. So Beast Within. Of course, Pumpkinhead 2, which my better half, Sacrilege, likes better than Pumpkinhead. She just really loves this one, and it is a fun film. It's like a lot of stunt casting cameos in there, but I did really like it. But the second Candyman film, Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, which is really cool. Usually, last time I watched this one, I pretty much watched, I turned on Crackle and watched Candyman on there, because they had Candyman and Crackle. I think they still do. And alongside that, I watched the Farewell to the Flesh, which is very cool. From Whisper to a Scream has a fantastic documentary, A Decade Under the Innocents. I actually did a review of the documentary all on its own because I thought it was really that good. And the people that made the documentary actually commented on my review of it, which I really appreciate. It's not very often that I get people that actually worked on the films that reaching out to me like that, but it was really cool for them to do. Very classy. And From Whisper to a Scream is one of Jeff Burr's, I think, first films, if not his first film, and they do a great job with it. But the documentary just puts it over the top. The documentary is amazing. It's actually incredibly amazing. Swamp Thing. Love the fact that they put this out on Blu-ray. I had to grab it. Yes, there is an uncut, international version with more breasts in it and extra scenes put in it for the international one. But pretty much, I don't know exactly why Adrienne Barbeau, I think it was Adrienne Barbeau, would be not wanting this one out. She looks amazing in it. And yes, her breasts are seen in the movie, but they're seen in other movies too. It's not the first time. Phantom of the Opera, Robert Englund. Again, this was supposed to be part of a franchise. Sequel was supposed to be called Phantom of New York. That was never made, but they actually talk about it on here. There's a ton of features as well. Great stuff. Love this one here. I did a review of this one with a good friend, Kelly. He's actually moved into a new house recently, so congratulations, Kelly, on you and your hubby and your little one moving into a brand new house. The Legend of Hell House. Okay, yeah, that's ironic, but yeah, it's love this cover. Great stuff. So now, let's get into the other ones. The ones you guys are probably most interested in, the collector's editions. As you can see, a lot of those there have enough features on them to be collector's editions of their own. But, it's right behind me. So, as I move these over here, so I have room for the other ones. Look how casual I am. I could have stopped the video. But no. So first off are a couple of ones that were done for, I think, for Chiller. And, well, the first one's for Chiller. The second one's just, I really she liked it. Dead Souls, this was the first this was the first original that they put out. And I think I watched it, but I don't remember it. Not at all, actually. Cockneys vs. Zombies. It gets compared a lot with Shaun of the Dead, which it shouldn't. They're both just funny zombie films, but they're different. And Michelle Ryan's in this one here, and I guess Hunter Blackman's in it, right? Yeah. But I really like this film. I thought it was really funny. Enjoyed watching it, and if you haven't checked out, there's Michelle Ryan. She was in a ill-fated Bionic Woman reboot. Lake Placid, I had to pick up. I saw this one in the theater originally. I thought it was a really fun film. Awesomeness of Betty White is in this one. And she's just like in the original thing, where it shows Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, and Oliver Platt. That's the same thing it did with the when they were actually marketing it. Betty White wasn't as big. Well, although she was a big star, she wasn't featuring the resurgence that she is right now. So she hadn't become like that kind of the internet celebrity. So nowadays, Betty White would be highly like anticipated for a movie like that. But then she was just like, oh, and it's got Betty White in it. Darkman again, a fantastic Sam Raimi film. I wish she'd put out 2 and 3 on kind of a Scream Factory double feature Blu-ray just to have them. I do have them on DVD. I searched them out. It took a while actually. I know there's like an easy to find set too as well, but I wanted to get the original releases. Of course, the classic Mad Max. Love this film. Most people, prefer Road Warrior. Some people actually prefer Beyond Thunderdome. I do like the kind of like the revenge aspect of this film. It's pretty brutal, like the actors in as well. Just some really cool stuff. Motel Hell is a lot of fun. A really cool film. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. It's fun. Cat People, good one. But if you've got like the DVD release, keep it because there's a lot of features that don't get ported over because they didn't have the rights to them. There's some nice, interesting new features on here, but Cat People is just a fun film. Have the Blu-ray and the DVD of that one. Next up is a favorite of mine. That's From Beyond. I really enjoyed this movie. It's one of my favorite movies with Jeffrey Combs. Actually, but when I mentioned it to him, he said that he thought he was miscast. He thought that the other actor that was in Reanimator should have played the lead role in this one here. But I said, I thought you did amazing in it. Next up is a movie that scared me so much. Terror Train. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've heard me tell the story of Terror Train. I won't go into it too much here right now, but obviously, for obvious reasons, if you're watching my channel for a while, Terror Train scared me beyond what I thought a movie could scare me at that age. It was in grade 7. Next up, of course, is Day of the Dead. Again, really dig this movie. It's my favorite of the Romero trilogy, kind of structure story-wise. But I guess the most fun one, really, when you really think about it, is going to be Dawn of the Dead. But I just really like the way, the realistic tone of Day of the Dead. Demon Knight, and of course, Bordello of Blood. Gotta have both these. I'm a huge Tales from the Crypt fan. I love this, and I love that they took off. It was cute, cool when they had this blue collector's edition Blu-ray. But I really, really love this a lot more. With more of the art, collector's editions, and kind of in white in the background. You get to really enjoy the artwork here now. I'm a big fan of that. Some people were kind of peeved when they took out the blue one, the blue border, but not me. Ginger Snaps, fantastic. One of the best werewolf movies, modern times. Really enjoyed it. I'm trying to make some space over here so I can make another roll of them. The director's cut of Nightbreed. I grabbed this one. I didn't think I was going to be able to get the big edition of it. Because actually, if you watch my videos, my early videos, I actually talked about Nightbreed. Shame on you, Scream Factory, for putting it this limited edition Nightbreed that's going to be so expensive and going to be so hard to get. And I really took him to task for it. This is one of my early videos. If you want to go check it out and see me being hypocritical, but I'm not going to lie. I blasted Scream Factory for doing it, and we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, actually. So Nightbreed. And of course, Lord of Illusions. I really did like this one. I wish you would have followed it up with another one. And I did think you did a good job in the role. Of course, the original Pumpkinhead. It's definitely a gothic classic. After this, I went out and I got the other Pumpkinheads, the DVD ones. I searched them out. So I want to have them all, even those sci-fi TV ones. Night of the Demons, which belongs in everybody's collection. It is such a fun movie. Great cast, Kathy Podwell's in here, of course. Linnea Quigley, the beautiful Linnea Quigley is in this one. She does a great job. She met her husband for a short time, Steve Johnson, on this film, actually. A bunch of actors, fantastic actors on here. And there's some great interviews there. We got an interview with Kevin Tenney, interview with Linnea Quigley. They also interview the girl, too, that's in it. Oh, man. Mimi Kincaid, I'm pretty sure they interview her, because I think she's a pet psychic or something like that. No, she's actually related to, speaking of Betty White and Golden Girls, she's related to Rue McClanahan. So the killer on her, Angela. She's related to Rue McClanahan. Actually, I have Night of the Demons too, which came from Olive releasing, thanks to DVD Beaver actually. The Dolls, which was a top release of mine for the year that this one came out. Love this movie. It's a fantastic film. If you like horror at all, this does need to be in your collection. I love the cover. I love the art style. There's great featurettes on this one as well. It's just a solid film. One of my favorite revenge films is Class of 1984. Perry King does a great job in this. We've got Michael J. Fox. Young Michael J. Fox is in this one here. Lisa Langales is in this one here. You just cannot go wrong with this film. And what's his name again? The bad guy in this one. He's it's Patton, right? Van Patten. Yeah, Timothy Van Patten. And he does such a good job. But really steals this film by Roddy McDowall. Roddy McDowall plays this teacher, this really well-meaning teacher that wants to really wants to teach people. Yeah, and the students push him too far, to the point where he comes to the class, and there's a sequence with him in the class with a gun, and it's heartbreaking, and it is an amazing sequence. It's great. It's great acting, and Mark Lester does a great job. Very solid. I would love to see them put a Massacre Central High as well on Blu-ray, but I love this one here. You love 80s? Ned the Comet is very 80s. Like 3 or 4 commentaries on here. Again, it's very much an 80s film. I very much loved it. Well, so at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to move some of that stuff over here, over to here, so I can finish up the video with little fuss and muss. Wes Craven's Shocker, really big fan. People Under the Stairs, great film, guys. I love the presentation of this one here. Assault on Precinct 13, fantastic Carpenter film. Escape from New York, yet again, amazing Carpenter. They got a lot of great Carpenter on here. Let's hear it. Yeah. They Live, which is the movie that a lot of people started buying Scream Factory with. Still got the buy sticker on there. It's a little frayed, but still got down there. Their first 2 releases, I have both of them. Halloween 2 and 3, they came out together. Every store actually carried these. I mean, like Best Buy, Walmart, all the stores carried them. And I had to grab these on Blu-ray. Just such incredible stuff. And I still have the original stickers. And actually in good condition as well. I love the silver Shamrock sticker. I had to go to Ottawa to find this one, but Body Bags. Prince of Darkness, fantastic film. The Fog, really underrated John Carpenter film. I actually underestimated the amount of Scream Factories I had here. So, the wants list portion of this, not gonna lie guys, it's gonna go fairly fast. It's definitely gonna go fairly fast. So next up is The Burning. Again, I was really excited when this one came out. Arrow Video did a version of this one as well, which I probably will get down the road if there's any extra features on it, because I really love The Burning films. And I was so excited when they put out all 3 Sleepaway Camp films. I'm a big slasher fan, and Sleepaway Camp films were a lot of fun. Felissa Rose did a great job in the first one. Number 2 and 3, they were tons of fun, and it had like don't tell me I wish you would have came back for the featurettes, because you played Angela. Pamela Springsteen. Great cast. I mean, like, again, 3 is one that I really underrated until I rewatched it. So, but I do have a few more here, and they are the box sets. So first up is the Annabelle trilogy. It does belong in every respectable Scream Factory fan's collection. It does have part 3 in 3D. There's got part 2, which is everybody's favorite part of the original trilogy. Ton of features, by the way. The only thing that was missing off of the first one were a couple of like History Channel documentaries that they couldn't get the rights to. But I actually went out and I found myself that the bonus disc called Amityville Confidential. It was part of like the original Amityville set. Remember when I said I was a hypocrite? That, well, yeah, this is why. I made a fairly lengthy video, shame on you, Scream Factory video, about that this one was really expensive, that there's no way that I'd buy it, and that I felt let down by Scream Factory. So, not only do I have this movie, but I bought my son a copy of this movie as well. It's one of his favorites. It became my favorite. He didn't know it before I bought it for him. It's really cool. Actually, it has the director's cut and the theatrical cut in here as well, which some people actually really do prefer the theatrical cut. There's a great booklet in here. Oh, there's like a third disc, like a bonus disc. Great artwork. Love this here. Love the heaviness of the box. Nightbreed, just very cool stuff. Next up is the now out of print, actually, Vincent Price collection. I only have the first volume. But it's got like Pit and the Pendulum, Mask of the Red Death, Haunted Palace, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Abominable Dr. Fives, The Witchfinder General, aka The Conqueror Worm. All for me, like, I love these films. Witchfinder General is a particular favorite of mine. And I like the Dr. Fives movies as well. I like all of them on here. But this set here was a big surprise. I didn't know my better half was going to get it for me. I remember the Christmas that I was looking for it. I looked at it. I said, maybe I want it, maybe I want it. And I said I'd come back to it. I was looking at it a lot. And I went back to look at it again. And I was gone. I was like so bummed out. I was like, oh man, I was going to ask for it after all. Get it for Christmas. And she was like, well, you know, maybe it'll come back in. What I didn't know, because I went looking around the store, was that she had actually picked it up and went over and bought it right away without me knowing. Along with, what was that, House on Straw Hill at the time. Two movies that I really, really wanted, so it really made my Christmas to see these two movies that I didn't know I was going to get. And I opened them up and I was super excited. I was so excited about them that when I got to my big movie, which was the Alfred Hitchcock collection, the Masterpiece collection on Blu-ray, amazing. Probably one of my favorite sets at the time, is that I almost had like a burnout stage where I was getting like this. I was so spoiled at Christmas, and I got like cool movie after cool movie that I was like, wow. She's like, you didn't seem as excited about the Alfred Hitchcock movie as you know as I thought you were going to be. And I'm like, it's just there was so much goodness at the time that I just couldn't anymore. So the last of course not least, is the Halloween set, and it does have all of them here. This is the big set, as you can see. I wouldn't mind if I could find it cheap enough. I'd probably grab the other set, the theatrical release set, just to have it, just to be completist. So it has Halloween, of course, 1 and 2, 3. So it has like theatrical copy prints of films, TV prints of films on here, unrated prints of films on here. It has finally Part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. It has both the director, the producer's cut, and the other cut. Producer's cut's a good one, like Screw Chappelle. You know what I feel about Dave Chappelle. No, not Dave Chappelle, but Joe Chappelle. Screw Joe Chappelle. Screw you, Joe Chappelle. You're an asshole. You treated people horribly. You're an asshole. It's got the Rob Zombie ones. It's good to have them. I guess it's complete. You know, as complete as thing goes. It's only the crappy unrated cuts though. The Rob Zombie films are a one time when you actually want the theatrical cuts over the unrated cuts, because Rob Zombie doesn't do a good job with the Halloween franchise. The first one is watchable, but it's not a good Halloween film. It's a decent film on its own. The second one's not even a decent film. It's not well done. I wouldn't consider it particularly. It's okay shot. There's some sequences that I think, like, definitely there's decent camera work, but the film fails on almost every level, like narrative level, and the unrated cut doesn't do it any favors either. The unrated cut though is specifically atrocious for the first Halloween one, because there's in the theatrical edition of Rob Zombie's Halloween, him escaping is really, really, that's actually one of the things that I really did enjoy. I like the way that they did it. It made sense, and there's a great, it brings up like when there's such a jarring change between him as a boy to him as like this huge monster of a man. uh, his escape when it happens in the original theatrical edition is really well done, and it makes sense, and it adds a little bit to the movie. And I enjoy, once I watched it. I saw the unrated cut first. Once saw the theatrical cut of it, I was like, this, I can actually watch the Rob Zombie one now. There's like an unneeded rape sequence in in the the unrated cut that made no sense to the story. It did nothing to add to the movie or the narrative at all. Actually, it took away from it. It it just was really it just, and not like dirty as in like a dirty sex. I mean, it was like just made you feel nasty type of scene. And it wasn't brutal. It wasn't like it. It was just bad. It was just bad. But then did great stuff to work with Anchor Bay is on here. They put out like the big editions of each of these sets. Great booklet as well, and just some amazing stuff. Like you get the first one here, got like the cut above the rest, the full like 80-minute featurette on here, like new audio commentaries with Jamie Lee Curtis. That we never like done stuff. We never like did want to talk about that stuff. She was in the original audio commentary. So basically, new audio commentaries. There, gonna mess it up with I think Dean Cundy, Tom Lee Wallace. Of course, we're going to do part 3. The Shape, Nick Castle. That's actually kind of cool. I think number 2 is one that has the theatrical cut on, the TV cut on it. So there's the theatrical version and the TV version. So again, there's like a ton of features, like 4 and 5. And when they came out from Anchor Bay, they didn't have, you were under featured, like there was like not a lot of features on them. So they really make up for that because Halloween 2, which is junk, actually has bonus disc, which is cool. So Halloween 2, a place to keep your bonus disc. And that doesn't like just have a little bit of stuff. I mean, it has like, let's see if I can get it here, because it does have a list of it. The bonus disc, we got Halloween Unmasked 2000. That's a feature that needed to be done. John Carpenter's Halloween extended version with TV inserts added in there. We got the new making of Halloween 4, which was really missing. A new making for Halloween 5. Interviews with makeup artists for Halloween 3. New episodes of Horror's Hallowed Grounds, which is a really cool series that they do on there, with Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. Plus a new longer cut of the episode for John Carpenter's Halloween, which was featured on the 25 Years of Terror box set. I really need to get the 25 Years of Terror as well. Horror's Hallowed Grounds Fan Edition, a special episode with 4 fans as he boarded a bus tour during the 35 years of Halloween. We got like radio spots, photo galleries, bonus, just amazing stuff. And I'll even watch the zombie ones on here every once in a while, like once a year type thing. But what don't I have? What's my want list? This is going to be really fast because I didn't realize I had that many that I did have. So I got a lot of them. So obviously, for me, on the want list, like of the big ones that I really want, we'll go down through them. Saturn 3 is one that my better half's wanted for a long time. She's a really big fan of that film. I've never managed to pick it up, but I know she's always wanted to have it. For me though, like I would like to have the Summer Party Massacre and Summer Party Massacre 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. I have the original DVD editions of those, but it would be nice to have those upgraded. Beneath by Larry Fassbender. God. It's definitely a one that I want. Go through these really quickly, let you guys know. There's a few that I have here. I love to have the second and third Vincent Price box sets. Kind of interested in like Squirm as well. I don't have that one. I think that's actually a pretty cool one. And there's a couple like different box sets that I want, like kind of double features. Love First Bite and Once Bitten. I want to have Vampire's Kiss and High Spirits. I like to have the Carrie and Rage Carrie 2 were definitely on my list. I've seen any of the big ones. Stigmata was definitely on the list as well. Empire of the Ants and Jaws of Satan is a much higher on my list than the other ones that I mentioned. And Food, the Gods, and Frogs too, because they just were so well done. Scarecrows, which I haven't picked up basically because I want the 88 Films edition But if you have different features, I'll pick up both of them. Uh, Dog Soldiers is one that didn't come out here in Canada, which I really want. Dog Soldiers is a fantastic little film, by the way, guys. I'm Madman is another big one on my list. Nomads I gotta get. Not as many as I realized as I thought. Actually, The Legacy and The Sentinel are both two like that are strong on my list. Return of the Count Yorga, I have the first one on from Twilight Town, but don't have the rest. The Larry Fessenden set with no telling the habit when going last winter is definitely a big one. Because I buy box sets, and though I'm not a really big fan of the films, I'm actually not a fan of the films really at all. If I get it cheap enough, or somebody ever gives it to me, Human Centipede. I would love to just dive in and just see what features are on that. Troll and Troll 2, which I already mentioned to you guys. Blood and Lace, of course. Ghost Stories, definitely a big one on my list. Women's Prison Massacre, I definitely want that one. You guys know I love exploitation, so Women's Prison Massacre is not a big surprise for you guys there. Zombie High, I'll probably pick up. Brain That Wouldn't Die, yeah. Nightmares I really, really want. That's an anthology film. You guys know I love anthology films. So Nightmares is high on the list. Jack's Back, of course. And, what's the third one? Curse 2, yeah, I kind of want that. I do have it on DVD, so it's not like a pressing one to get. Serpent and the Rainbow is the only one of the Wes Craven ones that I don't have. So that'd be definitely nice to have that one. Species 2, 3, and 4, I'd grab those. Disturbed Behavior, I really want. Actually, I like that movie. Cherry Falls, same thing. That was a cool one as well. Though there's no new features on there, and it's the R-rated cut. I wish they would have went better with that one. Destroyer and Edge of Sanity, definite want. Village of the Damned, of course. And Shark. No, not that one. I Saw What You Did. Yeah, Joan Crawford. Love that one. So yeah, Manhunter's a big one for me. It was a big movie that I really liked. I got to grab that one. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I wouldn't pay for Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I understand people that do. Somebody gets me Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. That's pretty much because I do like the films, but I don't really support the director. That makes sense. And I know people are going to say Roman Polanski this and blah, but no. There's a much darkness to the Jeepers Creepers director that bothers me, because the child was so young, and it wasn't just a one-time thing, and it was so brutal. It's I don't know. It maybe seem hypocritical for me to say, I can watch Polanski stuff, but I can't. But I can't. I can go and buy Criterion Polanski film, but I can't go and buy Jeepers Creepers, even though I want them. But it just bothered me. That's me personally, and I have no judgment or condemnation for anybody else that goes out and buys it. I have no right to do that at all. That's it's just my personal opinion on it, and most of my friends got the Jeepers Creepers ones, and I just couldn't do it. Maybe I'm being silly too, but I just really couldn't do it for them. That's just me. Crush, Alicia Silverstone, yeah. Slasher season 1. I didn't know they put that out, but I really love that series actually. Bad Moon's cool. Body Card Werewolf, that's the original 1973 one. I definitely. Hellhole is one that really needs to be in my. You guys know my type of movies. Hellhole is a strong one for me. Of course, Psycho 4, The Beginning, Session 9, Deathstalker 1 and 2 were put out. Oh, yeah, Aaron wants some of that. Raising Cain, of course, Arrow and Scream Factory both put out editions of that one. I love that one. Lady in White's a nice classic one. Fender Bender kind of interests me. Carrie, I really want that one. Thing, Child's Play, all those I want. Exorcist 3, definitely want. Bubba Hotep I want. Dead Ringers, I need Dead Ringers actually. And of course, Black Christmas. I'm a huge Black Christmas fan. I'm gonna want all versions of that. Dreamscape, I already have Dead of Winter, so. But yeah, there you go. And I think that at the end of the month, Poltergeist is coming out. Wouldn't mind having the Poltergeist 2 and 3. There you go, guys. That is my want list, which is a lot faster than I normally do. I normally go into the TV and I do the want list like that. But I knew this was going to be like a big video with a lot with a big collection. So yeah, that's what I want there. What I want even more, I don't know. I gonna have to put them on my definitely on my birthday list for better half this year. Vestron video collection. I gotta get some of those, man. Who has those? Tell me which ones you have. Tell me how you find them. Which one you think is the best. Because I want to know. Because we're a Scream Factory video, but I want to know. You tell me what your favorite Scream Factory is. Tell me what your favorite Vestron video is, because it's been bugging me recently that I don't have any of those. I gotta put all these back, and then I gotta get some tea because it's time for tea. It's really, really place is going. Time for tea. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey there, thanks for staying for my after credit sequence. So complete randomness today. I noticed that one of the movies that Scream Factory had there was Sunny Boy. And Sunny Boy is a strange little film with David Carradine. And right in my line of vision is a David Carradine set that I have actually. Of some really cool David Carradine stuff. And that is the complete TV series of Kung Fu. This is of course the original series, not the remake Canadian show. Legend Continues, kind of like so Kung Fu, the complete series, all 3 seasons. Let's look at them. You never know what you're going to get at the end of one of my videos, do you? So you always got to save those after credit sequences. So first off, you got like season 1 here. It's got all new digital transfers from Grasshopper to Kane, creating Kung Fu and the Tao of Kane, production and beyond. Now this one here did like, I don't think the other 2 did it, but the first one did. Yeah, this was not done in a widescreen edition. But for some reason they put out the first season on widescreen to go for like people's like widescreen TVs and that, and they got really like lambasted for it because that wasn't the original aspect ratio for it. Now this has some great shows on here, great actors in this one as well. Jodie Foster is in an episode here, just some amazing stuff, and bunch of episodes. These are all like first season anyway, at least it's all double-sided, so it's kind of iffy on that. Of course, you have seasons 2 and 3 here that are all in their right aspect ratios, which is actually very cool. So first off is season 2. Picture David Carradine there. I always think like the Legend Continues one, basically, I'm Kane, I will help you. Get another. Like again, a ton of really good episodes. A lot of big cast stars in here. I got a commentary by David Carradine on the Well episode here as well. Again, they did go for like the kind of the double-sided discs, but they're in good condition, and I really had to make sure that they were. We got Ginger from Gilligan's Island on one of these. I was commentary on a couple of these here. Actually, I didn't know that. So I'm actually listening to some of the commentaries on these one of these nights. And of course, it is season 3, which we'll open up and let you guys see. Stephanie, looks like Stephanie Powers is there. Yes, definitely Stephanie Powers. Really cool. And I'm just looking here to see some of the people that worked on this and stuff. Barbara Hershey's in the episode here. At least she was younger at that point. And we have like Thief of Chendo. There's not one with John Carradine. Yes, one actually with John Carradine in it as well. So that's actually kind of cool. That's all 3 seasons of Vice going. So I really gotta give this up. but I wanted to do something kind of different, something kind of cool there. So this is the complete collection. I actually found this at a flea market, brand new for $5. And really, it's just like the all three seasons, like put into like put the slipcase over it. But I actually found it really cool. A lot of like there's commentaries on select episodes, revealing documentary, 3 outstanding featurettes, all 62 episodes on 11 discs. So there you go, guys. And it, just like Kane, when it comes to movies, feel free to watch my videos. I am Aaron. I will help you. Thanks for watching with that cheesy cheesiness. I gotta go and get my voice back. It really is. You know what? Say it with me. Time for tea.